I feel like one of the biggest lessons that I'm still learning is that just because you treat someone good does not necessarily mean they're gonna treat you that same way. So I'm still battling with it, but that is like the biggest lesson I think that I struggle with. I'm still struggling with a little bit because it's like I try to treat everybody kind, treat everybody with respect. I try to help anybody if I can, and then I had to just learn just because you do this for others doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna return that back to you. So that's something that's definitely my biggest lesson.
That's real. That's real. Check it. Ayo, this is the Rising Royalty Podcast, the greatest podcast in the 317, powered by Numbers Media Group. Man, we got one of the greatest in the city. I ain't gonna cap to y'all today. I can't cap, you know what I'm saying? So let them know, who is you?
Vette Rey. I appreciate you. Yeah.
I'll tell you, one of these days I'm gonna get the full list. I'm gonna be like, I really do think Club Shay Shay has one of the best introductions. Like, I mean, he lists the whole person's career, you know what I'm saying? He be Inspector Gadget with it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm trying to get like that, you feel me? Shout out Club Shay Shay. We gonna dive right in. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for coming out, for real.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad to have you on. I'm telling you. All right. So here at Rising Royalty Podcast, we really like to humanize the artist. So we're going to start off with our first question. What were your hardships in early childhood?
Okay, my hardships in early childhood. I grew up in Ifield School, grew up close to Highville, you know what I'm saying? West side, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like some of my hardships coming up was I dealt with a lot of bullying. To be honest, I got teased a lot in school.
What, for real?
Yeah, I really did. People don't believe me, but yeah, I did. So that was something that took a large toll, on probably my mental health, but it also is what made me start doing music because that was my outlet. So.
Whoa, in early childhood, we're talking preteen.
Yeah.
You was already making music.
Mm-hmm. I was singing then. I was doing poetry and I was singing.
That's what's up, man. We just had Rose Key in the studio. Rose Key says she started doing poetry too. I am starting to feel like as an artist, I'm lacking because I don't remember writing no poems for real. Maybe I need to elevate.
That's where it starts. Shout out Rose too.
Hey, love. And so, early childhood, you know what I'm saying, going through a little bit of bullying, you start expressing yourself using music. But what did you struggle with most as a teenager? So preteen, you kind of figuring out where you want to be, you're expressing yourself in art. But what was the early teenage years?
My early teenage years, it was really it was a lot of that. It was finding myself, finding my confidence, building my self-esteem back up, and just learning to embrace like who I am as an individual, not trying to be like everybody else, not worrying about trying to fit in.
Yeah.
That was the struggle. Part. Yeah. So I just had to learn to just say, look, I might not be in the in crowd, I might not be with the cool clique, but I just am who I am, and the right people are gonna gravitate to me.
I like that. I like that for real. Because I think too many people, they find something that's comfortable for them that's in someone else, and then they try and replicate that. Mm-hmm. It's definitely best to just be yourself. Even in, speaking back on Club Shay Shay, I remember hearing Lil Yachty, he was talking about essentially what he went through as a young artist, you know, like he said that when he dyed his hair red, like dyeing your hair wasn't a thing. Like it wasn't like everybody didn't have their hair dyed. Like having beads definitely wasn't a thing in the black community in general. So it's like, you know, that was exclusive for him.
Yeah.
So I really got mad respect and mad love for that, for anybody, you know, who really does capitalize on independence, you know, in their self as an artist. Artists usually, I always tell people this, I'm like, when you see an artist, it's like artist to artist, like it's easy to like, I don't know, pick up on it because it's like, oh wait, they different. All right, bet, you know, that's an artist, you know. So I rock with that.
See that.
Hell yeah. So you know, what other things like as a teenager like helped you cultivate yourself as an artist, you know? Like, yeah, you're trying to be different. But what else? You know, did you do any talent shows? Did you was music always the thing? Were you like, you know, did you study science? You know, I was a big nerd. So it's like I was like I mean, I don't know, I was all over the place.
Yeah, you know, music and poetry, that was always a big thing. I've always really liked nature and being outside and doing things like that. So I would do things like go and sit by the water. I would collect shells and collect like cool looking rocks and things like that. So that was kind of like my other little thing when I was feeling down, or maybe I was having writer's block or something. I would just go out, collect some things, and that made me feel good. So it was always that. It was always nature. I love animals. I used to want to be a veterinarian before I decided.
Vette Rey.
It's the name, you know what I'm saying?
What is that? Is that where the name comes from?
Nah. It's
crazy.
a cool thing though. But no, my middle name is Yvette, so I just kind of played off of that.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I gotta ask, you know what I'm saying? So I know you grew up in the city, you know. But I feel like people, you know, like when this airs, you know, people all across the nation are gonna see it, you know what I'm saying? You really do come off almost like Boston, like New York City, like your yeah, that's how your accent sounds. I swear to God.
I've been hearing that my whole life. They like, are you from New York? I'm like, no, I'm born and raised in Indy. I don't have any clue where the accent comes from. So I'm just like this.
Yeah, well, that's tough. That's exclusive for real. Like the differences, you know. Definitely out there. I definitely have an affinity for that. So, you know, you're defining yourself. You did at one point in time want to be a veterinarian. Me personally, I was more like I mean, I was really just a nerd. I ain't even gonna cap to you. Like, I'm the type of dude who like, people was watching cartoons. I was watching like History Channel, Discovery Channel, like they was like, I remember actually even like as a teenager, I hit 13, you know what I'm saying? Homies are asking me like, do you know who raps this song? Do you know who raps this song? I was like, I've heard the song. I don't know who makes the music. I was like, I've heard it before though.
Right.
And like, what do you do all day? I'm like, bro, like I be like making model cars, like I be studying the galaxies, the solar system. Like I was like, I know about string theory. I can't tell you nothing about like who's rapping right now, but I can tell you how quantum computing works.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it's like
there's nothing wrong with it.
yeah, I was a different vibe. I'm not gonna lie. So you know, individuality in any way, shapes, and forms, I definitely have an affinity for that. Moving forward though, what hard lessons did you learn in early adulthood? Is what I would is what I'm gonna ask next. I do have to know where you got the name from though. Did you get that name as a teenager? Is that a name that you later got? Like when did you actually hop in the game?
So originally, my name was Yvette Renee. I changed it to Vette Rey. One, because I just felt like it had a ring to it. But what the name comes from is, like I said, the Vette is a play off my middle name, but the Rey, a lot of people don't know. The reason it's spelled R-E-Y is because it means king in Spanish. And
What? Oh, that's legendary.
And where I got that from is when my dad, he's like one of my biggest supporters as far as the rapping goes. So when he first heard some of my like early songs, he was like, I know you a woman, but you like the king of this rap, you know, this rap stuff. So I said, you know what, I think I want to incorporate that into my name. So that's where that comes from.
That's tough for real. That's tough. I can't lie. That's that's exceptional. So like, but what age or like a time in your life did you come into your artist persona? Was that teenage years, early adult years, later adult years? How, like, when did it actually click for you that like, you know what, I'm gonna make music?
I feel like it was early adulthood for sure, because it was like, at first I ain't gonna say I was playing with it, but I was just like, this is just what I do. I've been doing this my whole life, and it's therapeutic, and it was just fun. But I said, you know what? I had so many people telling me like, hey, people need to hear this. You need to get out there. You need to, so I had decided, you know what? Let me just go out and see like what happens. So yeah, I decided, you know what? I'm going to take this seriously. I'm going to really get out here and see, if I can make my mark.
Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Well, what hard lessons did you learn in adulthood? You know what I'm saying? Like, me, one I always really like to throw out there, or have been throwing out there, is just that you can't take everybody with you. Yeah. For real. Like, what I'm saying? People fall off, people change up, people start hating, whatever it may be, but there's always problems in paradise, Mm-hmm. So what lessons did you take?
I feel like one of the biggest lessons that I'm still learning is that just because you treat someone good does not necessarily mean they're going to treat you that same way. So I'm still battling with it. But that is like the biggest lesson I think that I struggle with. I'm still struggling with a little bit, because it's like I try to treat everybody kind, treat everybody with respect. I try to help anybody if I can, and then I had to just learn, just because you do this for others doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to return that back to you. So that's something that's definitely my biggest lesson.
That's real. That's real. I can't cap to you. That's one of the things I had to learn, because I'm one of those people who like, I'll go out of my way to hop on somebody's I'll go out of my way to hop on somebody's Instagram or Snapchat, TikTok. If you've been supporting me, I will go like all of your stuff. Yeah. Everything. Like once, I may not do it all the time, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, if I haven't done it in a while, it's like after your name pops up like 4 or 5 times, you know what I'm saying? I'll literally just go through it like, I like to always show support, for my supporters as much as I can, because I know there'll be a day when I can't. Right. I know there'll be a day when it's like, oh man, I got a million different followers. Like, me showing support for you is going to be flying you out to the next event. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like, I always try and do that. And I've realized that other people don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been supporting me, like you've really uplifted me in a lot of ways. And it's like, okay, if I'm going to make this cast, it doesn't even feel right to do it without you, for real. I
appreciate that.
I'm telling you, like, but I definitely know when it comes to reciprocating energy, everybody's not the same. Yeah. I definitely understand that. So, I mean, what is there any other trials and tribulations that you think that you've came across? Because I'm assuming that's more one that you've came across this year. You're coming to the realization, but any others that you've came across, maybe even last year, towards the end of last year, or anything, in your music career.
As far as in the music career, definitely that. It's been a lot of, like, I'm relatively new to, like, the outside scene. And as far as networking with different artists, I had to learn relatively quickly, just like what you just said. You can support people to the maximum, and they may not return that love, I'm at shows, I record people, take photos, send it to them, post it on my page, try to show them love, and then when I perform, they might leave, they may not record anything, they may not even see it, so I just
leave is crazy.
Yeah, it's happened, and they're like, I just learned to not take it personal. I'm like, I just do things out of kindness in my heart, and I feel like like I said, the right people that I'm supposed to be around gonna gravitate to me.
For those who don't know, Rise and Royalty Podcast is powered by Numbers Media Group. If you have a podcasting idea, or you just want to network, you want to lock in with us, go ahead and reach out to us using our contact information in the description below. Yeah, I mean that's actually crucial. You know, artists support your artists. You know what I'm saying? That's actually crazy that to even hear that, especially me knowing your music and knowing how hard you are. Like it's like, man, it's like dang, like somebody was like, oh no, like that's just crazy work to me. You know, I definitely think that that kind of pushes the narrative. Like artists always be talking about how it's hard to get people who support you equally. I think that one of the biggest problems in the city is that people are looking for artists to support them rather than fans.
Right.
It's like you have to find the fans. You have to find your niche market. If your fans aren't here, they're going to be somewhere else. But you got to find the people who are just supporters, who aren't making music. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be in a situation where it's like artists like really do rock with me, and there are other artists, you know.
Yeah.
But it's like they rock with me essentially because I do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I try and teach them, help them cultivate, you know, help them grow as artists. But I do myself have a decent fan base, you know, especially online. So I think that artists really need to focus on that, you know. I think that life will just be more fruitful as an artist if you are geared towards finding your target fan base. Because I mean, when I say like, you know, I can see, I mean, even right here, like I'm looking at 3 different platforms. I'm looking at TikTok, I'm looking at Facebook, I'm looking at Instagram. Instagram is always popping, man. Shout out to Anderson, bro. But it's like, yeah, like, you know, people, I find my target fan base and I market to that fan base, you know, and after I find that fan base, you know, I rock it out.
Yeah.
But it's like, people got to find that. I just was telling another artist, like, hey, if your only goal was to have 15,000 fans, you would win.
Yeah.
Because even if you sold a product for $1, you would win.
Yeah.
You'd be, even, let's just say it took $10,000 to make that 15K. You would make $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
If you had that many, you know what I'm saying, solid followers who you'd know like, oh, they gonna buy this pen if you sell it for $1, you know, whatever it may be. So it's like, yeah.
That's solid advice for sure. I feel like a lot of people in the city don't do that. They don't find their fans, that target, you know, audience. And I think that that's super important.
Yeah, and that's why I've told people that one of the smartest people about it is CJ Too Cold. Those people that are viewing, that are actually showing up to view his, you know, his events, they're not participants. They're not like, it's like artists will show up to a showcase and there'll be other artists. It's like, bro, like these people are not participants in any way, shape, or form. They are here as viewers.
Yeah.
So it's very exceptional that it's like he's been able to amass these viewers. I've even told people, I was like, it's funny because I was like, he's got more clout than most of the than any other rapper in the city. I'm gonna just keep it a buck.
Nah, for real.
It's like all these rappers are trying to rap. You know what I'm saying? Too Cold is like that. You know what I'm saying? And he's a rapper in the city. That's the crazy thing. But it's like, yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to finding your fans, find fans who are here to view, who are here. They are just entertained by you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's definitely something that I find is very important, you know, because also that changes everything. When it's like that, then it's like, that's how you get signed. Like when you can show, hey, yeah, I got 100 ticket sales. 100 ticket sales is like more than literally probably like, I would say 50% of the entire music industry. If you can get 100 tickets sold, then that's deep, you know what I'm saying? And the only way that you can do that is if you're searching for fans, you know. How do you search for fans? I'm going to just throw this out here since I'm on the topic. How do you search for fans? You know, you go to places where there is no rappers. So it's like you will have to perform at the college party. You will have to perform at the club. You will have to find the DJ, perform at the club. I've did it. I done stood on top of the chair in what was that? I don't know. There's this there is this I'm not even trying to be that dude. I'm not trying to get canceled. There's this one club where these people who are homosexual, they be showing up at. My DJ, he was there and he played my song and I stood up on the chair, you feel me? I got a few fans just doing that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it takes. You got to link up with your DJ, you know? You got to find you a DJ first. Link up with your DJ and then get you some real fans, some people who aren't artists. After you do that, bro, you're in there.
Yeah.
You're in there. You're winning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if it's an artist, they're following the pack or whatever they're doing. I don't know. You know, I'm not even trying to get into lore, man. I can't. There's certain stuff that I can't get into. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but yeah, like I've like people done hit me up and like I've done bought, I've done like did showcases. And the reason that I did the showcases was because the people called me up and they knew that if my flyer was on the showcase, and they knew that the other artists would come there. So it's like, you know, like when you get your fan base up, I think that that's the most important thing. But moving on from that, man, we got a little off on a tangent.
You giving knowledge though, you spend knowledge.
I'm trying to. But moving on from that, so I'll go kind of summarize what I've heard. So, you know, early childhood, you're writing this poetry, you're making this music. You don't really know what you want to do. You know, early, like teenage years, you're going into being a veterinary and you're thinking about that. What stopped you? What stopped that and started Vette?
I think what stopped that ultimately was just, I'll be honest with you, it was school.
What, you was like, I'm not
I
going.
was just like, I cannot. I did end up getting a degree, but it was just, I just felt like, you know, I'm bigger than this in a sense. It was just like, I feel like this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. And I feel like when I do anything music related, it just feels like this is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's what made me say, you know what? I feel like I have to do this, you know.
As my boy Ollie would say, was goody. I'm not sure if y'all tapped in yet, but this is a City Flooders hat. If you want your logo, your brand, you got a cup, you got a chain, you got a hat, you got a shirt, just go ahead and reach out to me in the comments below, or you can hit my inbox. Peace.
And so.
That's real. You know, I will, I got mad respect for anybody who, applies pressure in academics and music. The way that I like to put it is your job is your record label. You know what I'm saying? Your professional life beyond music is your record label if you're not signed. So it's like, if you're not signed, you know what I'm saying, then like that's what that is. So it's like, if you're not applying pressure there, then you're not applying pressure for anything. If you're constantly losing your job and trying to figure out a job, then it's like, you're not respecting the only cheese that you have in order to push yourself as an artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You really have to do that in order to succeed in the music industry. You have to be able to make those moves and, apply that pressure. What's the hardest time you've had as an artist?
I think the hardest time, which I think is something that everybody experiences, but I feel like my hardest time is just hitting a point where I'm like, you know, am I good enough? Like, I'm not seeing the likes and the views that I'm seeing with such and such, you know what I mean? Like, can I really do this? You know, I feel like I hit a point where I'm like, dang, you know, how do I get people to engage? What am I not doing? And that's why I hate and love social media, because sometimes it can make you question yourself. Like, am I even good? Like, nobody's even paying attention.
See, okay, I'm gonna break it down to you because I think that this is important.
Yeah.
I don't like to be that person to just be this open and honest. But
Yeah.
okay, so I'm gonna break down to you the formula. This is what they won't tell you. If you want your music to succeed, what you do is you drop. I can tell you how to blow up literally in one take. Okay, so what you do first is you don't drop the tape.
Yeah.
You drop it in singles.
Yeah.
Say you got 5 songs. Okay. You drop a reel to all 5 songs. Whichever one does the most numbers, you figure out why. After you figure out why, you keep repeating reels that are like that about the same song. What most people don't realize is when people click on that song, they can see how many reels have been made to that song. If they
Yeah.
see 100 reels have been made to that song, they're like, oh, this is popping.
Yeah.
You feel me? So they just make a reel to that song. Well, then after that, then you have what's called like a you know, equally, it's been boosted in the algorithm the entire time. So every single time you drop a reel with that song, it's like, oh wait, it's in the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? You only need one piece of the entire song. The song could be 3 minutes long, but if you have one part that says, yeah, I'm the baddest, yeah, I'm the baddest, boom, it's going. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the only part that you have to play in every single reel. You don't have to play the whole song.
Yeah.
So that being said, after you do that, now, how do you monetize it? You feel me? How do you make the cheese off of it? Well, literally just offering something. Anything. I've offered t-shirts in cities that people don't even know me, but after I perform, then they're like, oh, he's dope. I'm about to buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So then you just offer something for them to buy and they'll buy it because they like the song. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big part of it. Equally, I think that people don't know how to push a song.
Yeah.
With all due respect, I've seen you drop a lot of music. If you want to win, you have to stop dropping music.
Yeah.
You have to take what you have and run with it. You know how Lizzo blew up?
How?
She pushed a song for like the song she blew up for, like she had out for 4 years.
Okay.
4 years.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, so if people want to know how to make it, you have to keep pushing the music that you have. I'm not saying that you don't express yourself artistically. You should. You should continue to express yourself artistically. Equally, if you're pushing a single is something you push for a year.
Yeah.
A tape is something you push for a year, 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not something that it's like, okay, well, I put it out. Now I'm about to drop an album. Oh, wait, now I'm about to push this. You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest things that I feel bad about that I miss is that I didn't push our song on Valentine's Day because I was so focused on my movie. But it was like, that's when it was supposed to get pushed. Like, that's when we were supposed to keep dropping like a whole bunch of reels to the same thing.
Shawty, I like the way you move. Do you like me? I like you too. Every curve and every groove. Skinny digging in the room.
You feel me? And like do that. But it's like, like that's how it works. Like literally you make the short form content, you put that out, you get it out. And then when you want to move to the next level, you take the same song and all of the things that you watch other artists that are popping get on, you just pay for it. You pay to get on World Star. People don't realize this. It's like, I think it's like the least expensive package is like $500 to $1,000 for World Star. You pay for that instead of a music video. Yeah. You feel me? You shoot a music video for like $100. You put it on there for $500. You know what I'm saying? You can save up in 6 months $500.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If then you pay for On the Radar. What Drake's been on the Radar. You can pay for On the Radar. That's the same price, $500 to $1,000. Feel me? You pay for that. You fly out there. You go hop on the Radar. What else do you do? Oh well, some artists I be hopping on. What's the name? No Jumper. Well, you hop on No Jumper. You with the same song with the same exact idea, and then you're constantly if you're putting anything out, it's in that genre.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You brand yourself.
Yeah.
Artists don't realize how to brand themselves. Now, equally, they'll be like, oh, I need the major record deal. It's like they'll say that. But when you really look at it, they're doing the same thing. They're going to sign that artist. Now you're on, XXL. Now you on, now you're on the freshman class. Now you on World Star. Now you on, on the Radar. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's exactly how it works.
Yeah.
So when you're wondering like, oh, why isn't this doing this? It's because you got 50 different genres and you posting them all at the same time. So I tried to explain this to somebody. If I listen to rock music and you're dropping alternative music, but you're like, but I'm hard, bro. I'm a rapper. Like, I can drop a rap song. You drop a rap song. I only listen to alternative music. You my homie. But if you drop a rap song, I'm not going to listen to it. I'll listen to alternative. People will do that. Yeah. People will be like, they'll drop all this hard rap music, and then they'll be like, oh, but I can do this too. It's like, that's dope. I'm not going to say that it's not popping. I'm not going to say it's not a hot track. If I only listen to alternative, though, then when you drop that song, I'm not going to spin it a million times just because it's you. I don't listen to that kind of music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you were wondering, like, that's some of the keys to the industry.
I'm taking notes.
You feel me? I'm trying to hook you up for real because I think you're a dope artist. I really do. Like in all ways, shapes, and forms. Like you're exceptional as an artist.
Right back at you.
Look,
for sure.
I appreciate that for real because you know I be pushing too, but yeah, I think that's one of the biggest problems with people is that they just don't brand themselves. You know, how can I do podcasting this year and I can do modeling last year, and I can shoot them. I can be a part of putting together a movie this year. I can do all of that because it's not music.
Right.
You feel me? If I'm in music, I will keep making hyper pop music. Like when people hear me, they need to only hear one thing from me because if they're hearing one thing from me, then I'm gaining fans in that genre every time I step on stage.
Right.
People are like, oh man, we know what we are expecting one thing when JRael steps out on stage, and we're gonna get that every time we step out on stage.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna explode. You feel me? We're gonna feel electricity in our veins.
For sure.
All right, that's what the whole hyper pop wave is about. It's what my generation's about. You know what I'm saying? We like to feel alive and we like to feel authenticity. So, you know what I'm saying? Needless to say, I think you're in the perfect place. If you've ever been wondering, like, why, haven't the views been coming? Diversify the content, figure out what song is winning, only push that song.
Gotcha. You
know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what it is. Like, yeah, like, you'll see. I'm not sure when's the last time you hopped on my Instagram, but if you actually click on my Instagram, there's like 6 posts at the top. Reborn, my tape.
Yeah.
It will only be my tape. Like literally as long as I can possibly muster it, it will only be my tape right there. And you will be able to click on any square in there. And you'll be able to see Reborn. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to push the same tape all year. I haven't been back in the studio. I've recorded some features. You know what I'm saying? I can't promote every single feature. I just can't, as an artist. You know what I'm saying? I think Lil Yachty, most people don't realize this. Lil Yachty, when he came out, his feature price was $2,500.
Oh, really?
Swear to God.
Wow.
His feature price was $2,500. Can you imagine how many people bought that?
Wow, yeah.
How many features do we remember? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he hopped on so many tracks, did so many different songs. Like he made millions of dollars. And where did it go? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, bro, yeah, he made the songs, but it's like, bro, you just can't spread yourself so thin that you're promoting every single different genre you're in, everything that you're different doing. Like, no, it's like when somebody thinks Vette, they need to be able to be like, okay, Vette, this is the rapper, this is the R&B singer, or this is the, like they need to be able to paint a picture of who you are.
Yeah.
And then all of the people who are feeling that emotion, who are rocking with that.
Yeah.
They need to be able to just stick with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you'll drop other music. The way that I do it is dropping other music on SoundCloud. So I'll drop all genres on SoundCloud. Mm-hmm. That's for my day ones. Any fan that really want to rock with me. When it comes to like the people, any new person that hears me, they will be able to hop on my Spotify and only hear like electronic rap music. That's it. Yeah. Man, I didn't hand out more sauce on this one than any other one.
Man, you dropping gems for real. Dropping gems.
I swear. Because I want to see you succeed for real. But needless to say, my last question is, what's your advice for the future artists? From everything that you have learned and gone through in the music industry, what's your advice for the future content creator of any sort?
My advice for the future artists would be, definitely taking into account everything that you just, dropped. I got it up here now. But for everyone, just to keep going. Like, don't think that, you're going to be successful overnight. Just keep going, keep pushing, keep trying. Like you said, keep promoting and find your audience, find your target fans, and just don't give up. I feel like people nowadays feel like they're just supposed to drop one song and be famous tomorrow, like not really put that work in. So yeah, that would be my advice. That's real.
Keep grinding. You feel me? Gotta move harder. Gotta move smarter. Real talk. Hey, well, thank you again for coming out to Rise and Royalty. The hottest podcast in the 317. It's been a blessing.
Thank
for real.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, glad to have you. season.